Hi there, Shazrin here, and in this video I'll talk about how you can become a millionaire, the easiest, safest, legit, guaranteed, proven way that you should know. The idea for this video came when I remembered a story. It was about someone asking Jeff Bezos, the richest businessman in the world, if you don't know him already, owner of Amazon. Maybe that gives you an idea, maybe, possibly. And basically, he was asked what is the best investment advice he ever got, and he said investment advice I got was from Warren Buffett. And basically what he asked was, Buffett, your style of investing is so easy, why don't people just copy you and make as much profits as you do, because you are the greatest investor in the world? Again, just in case you don't know, Warren Buffett is the richest investor in the world, the richest businessman in the world, asking investment advice from the richest investor in the world. And the answer Warren Buffett gave him was quite intriguing, very interesting. It was short but very meaningful. Now, before I continue on with this video, let me just say this. Yes, I am a financial advisor, licensed and all, but this cannot be considered financial advice. Why? Because I don't know who you are and your specific financial situation. What I'm saying may be good for all of you watching this video, but because I don't really know specifically your financial situation, I cannot legally give you financial advice. Okay, once that's out of the way, let's start the real video now. So, continuing on with the Bezos Buffett story. Okay, basically, Jeff Bezos asked Warren Buffett, your style of investing is so good, it makes it so simple, and yet it makes so much profit. Why don't people just copy you? And Buffett said, because people don't want to get rich slowly. Okay. That's it. That's the simple, short answer he gave, which was quite deep actually. Because let's remind people of people and how they think. How many people fall for each year? Let's just say how many people each year fall for get rich quick schemes? And a lot, probably. Even you know this. Even you have probably heard of people falling for get rich quick schemes that are inevitably, usually, scams. Okay? That's the horrible truth. How many people here that you know of, or you yourself, do you want to be a millionaire if it takes 30 to 40 years? Answer my question if you wouldn't mind. If you say no, then you're possibly part of the people that Warren Buffett is referring, because people don't want to get rich slowly, and that's it. Warren Buffett, he started investing from the age of 11, and he became a millionaire at the age of 30 by investing, also doing a bit of business, but mostly investing. And he became a billionaire at the age of around 55 or something by investing. So his strategy is simple, it's proven, and yet people don't want to copy it and do it because it takes time, it's slow, and that's the problem. People lack patience, when in reality it's usually that the get rich slow schemes are legit, are proven, are effective. So that's the story. Okay, stop falling for get rich quick schemes, because most likely they won't work. That's the truth. That's horrible truth. That's the pain pill that you have to take. And just know that usually the investments that take time, lots and lots of time, are the ones that will make you rich. It will just take time. It won't even cost you much in terms of money and effort. It will just take a lot of time, and you'll still be able to become a millionaire. So this is where I come in with the investment that Warren Buffett himself recommends to the average investor worldwide, anyone, anywhere. If you are an average investor who doesn't have much financial knowledge, who doesn't have much money, and doesn't even care, doesn't even want to put in the effort to investing, then this is the investment for you. and I'm talking about index funds. So what is an index fund? Basically, it's just, as I said, it's an investment for those who don't have the knowledge or energy to study, to research for investing, and probably don't even have much money or even the time to research it. So might as well just do a completely passive investment that has a high likelihood of profiting in the long run. So let me explain first what is an index fund. An index fund is basically, according to Wikipedia, an index fund is a mutual fund or exchange traded fund designed to follow certain preset rules so that the fund can track a specific basket of underlying investment. Wow, that's a mouthful, okay? According to Investopedia, an index fund is a type of mutual fund or exchange traded fund with a portfolio constructed to match or track the components of a financial market. So basically, you must understand this. There's such thing as an index of companies basically. An index of companies may be an index of all of the top 500 US companies. We're talking about right now the S&P 500 index. This is the top 500 companies in the US, and they just call it the S&P 500 index. An index fund is basically a fund that invests in that index. So this fund, the S&P 500 index fund, basically is a fund that invests in the S&P 500 index. Okay, get it with me so far? It's a fund that invests in the 500 top companies of the US. That's basically an index fund. So the S&P 500 is just an example of an index fund. There are other index funds that track the total US market, that invest index fund that tracks the global market, global international markets, index funds for certain countries. So even Malaysia has their own index funds. Just saying for your information. So that's basically an index fund. The interesting thing about an indices is index funds track the markets. If an index fund tracks the top 500 companies of the US, it means it is tracking the US market. And so far, we've seen the US market keeps getting higher and higher every year. So if the market of the US, the GDP of the US increases every year, most likely the fund is profiting. Because no country wants to lose money. Every country in the world wants its economy to rise, its GDP to increase, and because of that, their indexes always increase in price. So let's just see what an index fund's return is based on the economy's growth. So this is a Nerd Wallet article. What is the average stock market return? And this year, the historical average stock market return is 10%. The S&P 500 index comprises of about 500 of America's largest publicly traded companies and considered the benchmark measure for annual returns. When investors say the market, in this case the US market, they mean the S&P 500. Now, 10% returns annually does not account for inflation. Inflation is about 2% annually, so adjusted for inflation, the S&P 500 index fund has a return of 8% annually. Minus the inflation of 2%, it becomes 8%. And that's just the S&P 500, which I will give utmost importance in this video today. Because since 1957, when 500 companies were put into the S&P 500, until today, it has given an average of 8% adjusted for inflation every year. Average, I'm talking about average. Remember that, this is important. So, if you just look at this investment calculator that I'm bringing out to you right now that you can use yourself, based on this, if you were to invest for 30 years on this index fund that gives you 8% annually to reach $1 million, all you have to do is each month, at the end of the month, just invest $710. That's right, $710 each end of the month. Each end of the month, just put in $710 for 30 years with the 8% interest annually, you'll get $1 million at the end of those 30 years. So basically, your total contributions during those 30 years is $255,000. And yet, the profit you've made off that investment is $744,000. Your profit is 3 times the amount of capital you put in. You're just putting in $710 every single end of the month, which I don't think is hard for most people. But If maybe you can't afford $710 each end of the month, okay then, why don't you invest for 40 years? So maybe right now you're 20 years old and you want to retire at 60. You want to retire a millionaire, so you're willing to invest for 40 years. So for you to invest for 40 years at 8% annual returns to get $1 million by the time you retire at 60, at the end of each month you just have to contribute to invest $310.45. Just put in $311 basically, and you'll be a millionaire at the age of 60. That's how simple this is. Because remember, this is a fund that has existed since the 19th century, and based on the records since 1957 until today, it has given an average annual return adjusted for inflation of 8%, and that's a huge deal. And you're beating 95% of fund managers out there. Fund managers are people who come from Ivy League schools, maybe Harvard or Oxford and such, and they are highly educated, they are very smart, and yet that even they themselves, 95% of them can't beat this index fund, the S&P 500 index fund. This is truly the easiest, safe, legit, guaranteed, and proven. This is proven way to be a millionaire. Now, if you don't believe that this is proven, you can easily Google people who have become millionaires through index funds. You can just Google groups like FIRE, Financial Independence and Retire Early. These are the kinds of people who want to invest as much of their money as they can so they can retire at the age of 30 or 40. Or you can just look at this YouTube channel, Our Rich Journey. This married couple managed to retire and become millionaires through index funds. Even their video is how we became millionaires with index funds. And they are teaching on YouTube how they invested in index funds to become millionaires, so they can retire early and spend time with their kids. The end of this video is, I'm just gonna say this, because Warren Buffett said it himself. If you want to be rich, if you want to retire a millionaire, don't be stupid. You don't have to be a genius, you don't have to be the smartest guy in the world to know how to invest and such. Just don't be an idiot. Just invest in an index fund. You don't have to do the research, you don't have to have lots of money, you don't have to spend time to learn all this knowledge to do this investment. Just put your money in here and just leave it be for decades. And when you retire, you'll become a millionaire. Simple. Don't try to be smart. Don't try trading when, again, 99% of retail investors lose money, and most likely 99% of traders also lose money. So if you're feeling confident, cocky and such, if you're feeling like you're the 1% who makes profits, sure, go ahead. But if you are realistic, you understand mathematics and statistics, then maybe you'll understand that 99% is not a good probability, and just try index funds. This is it. If you're smart, sure, try investment with higher returns. Because again, let me just show you this. If you're investing for 4 years and your investment just makes 10% annually, instead of $310 each month to become a millionaire, you just need $180 each month to become a millionaire at 60 if you're 20 years old. By the end of 40 years, after 40 years. And if your investment gives you, let's say, 15% annually, and if your investment gives you 15% annually, for 40 years, you only have to invest at the end of each month only $44. So, the better the investment, the lesser you have to put in money to make more money. But why do that? Why? Just put in as much money as you can. You can become a millionaire sooner. You don't have to wait until you're 60. You can become a millionaire at 50 or something, or 40, depending on your income and your willingness to invest. This is truly the best investment for the average investor. If you're asking me if I'm investing in this, well, I'll be honest and say, no, I currently am not, because I am not the average investor. I am someone who's actually studying to be among the top 1%. But again, as I said, I don't want to be stupid, so I will start doing index funds after this. So in case if I end up being among the 99% who lose money, at least I'll have an index fund that can make me a millionaire by the time I retire. But if I succeed at being among the 1%, well, that's awesome. That's my take. Thanks for your time. Oh yeah, also, please watch my previous video if you haven't watched it already. These videos take a lot of effort. Please like it. I mean, you've watched it this far. So please like the video. The support means a lot to me. And give out some ideas in the comments. Because apparently I don't know what people want to know about financing here. Thank you very much.